Hi there everyone, welcome to a review for Descendants 3. I'm Annaliese.
I'm Raven.
And today we are going to be talking about the many things that we have felt were either great about the movie, could have been worked on more, or just other mild complaints that we have. Yeah. Other than that, we thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. A lot better than the first two. I have no memory of the first one, to be honest, but it was a lot better than the second one, which is what really matters.
Totally, yeah. Alright, so where do we want to start off?
Start with the marketing problems, I guess. So even though the movie was great, the marketing wasn't the best.
The whole trailer for the movie was viewed on Hades being the main villain, and Uma and Cecilia.
Yeah.
Which clearly was not the case if you actually watched the movie.
Right, yeah, a lot of the things, it was it showed the crown being stolen, and then it would cut to Celia being mwah ha 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 ha, or bad things happening, and it would just cut to another villain doing something. But in the movie, those villains either didn't have a role, or it was a very small role and they didn't do anything really bad.
Exactly.
Or if it was bad, it wasn't what they were showing in the trailer. There was just a lot more emphasis on the characters that weren't as big. It didn't really emphasize Audrey, except for that one trailer with her.
Which I did like Audrey as the main villain. I feel like that was a really great idea, and that her song and everything was just great. Now we're gonna talk about some general complaints within the movie.
One of my main problems was at the very beginning of the movie when they're hey, we're gonna announce some villain kids are going to Oridon Prep. They can only choose 4, which I guess makes sense since there were 4 in the first one. I guess they're keeping up with that. They haven't been super inclusive yet. But, yeah, so they announced the kids, and they announced Smee's twin kids, but they announced them as 2 separate people, which I guess makes sense because they're 2 different people, but at the same time, another person could have gone to the school. I feel if you admit one twin, the other twin would just automatically be admitted too. It'd be a thing in the mail where it's oh, by the way, you were also admitted. Or it could be oh, this twin and this twin, because it's kind of not good to separate twins.
Right.
But then having them as 2 separate announcements kind of builds up suspense when you don't really need it.
Exactly.
And it prevents someone else from being able to go to the school. I don't know. Just had problems with that.
Yeah.
Next, the son of Smee. Come on, Squeaky.
And no way we're splitting up the twins, so get over here, Squirmy, come on!
When I first saw that, I was kind of wait a second. Because they announced the first twin, and then it was just it took a really long break to announce the other twin, and I was are they separating the twins? That's kind of not the best idea to do. So it definitely made it, really...
It was weird.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Fairy Godmother. I love her, but I also don't feel like some of the things that she says are necessary, specifically bibbidi bobbidi boo. We all know that that's her catchphrase. We all know that that's the thing that she's most known for. It's clearly obvious, especially within the Disney world. The way that she says all of these things in the movie is so unnecessary. She literally does, when she does a mic check, she says,
Bippity boppity, 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear me? Yes.
And we're just please stop. In the last movie, I remember her, when Jane was telling her about her and Carlos, she was bibbity bobbity, aww, and I was no.
No. You don't need to add bibbity bobbity in front of everything because you had a song about it in your movie.
Right.
It's kind of in Pitch Perfect, how they say Akka in front of everything. It's cute the first 3 times, and you're aw, but then by the 4th time, you're oh, they're serious about this. And then the rest of the movie, you're oh, they're actually committing to this? And then it's just really annoying.
Exactly, yeah. So we definitely just had that as a general complaint.
So this is a very small complaint, pun intended. So in the scene where Mal and what's his name, Ben get engaged, there's this very small TV in the back, and I feel it really doesn't serve a point. And it's not really a big complaint with the movie. I was just very distracted by it the entire scene because it's just, I mean, I guess it might be a big TV, but from the angle of the camera, it's just like significantly smaller than the people are. So like if you're far in the back, which is what I'm assuming that TV is for, you're still not going to be able to see anything because it's like too small. It doesn't serve the point. Like usually in stadium concerts and stuff, they have the TVs, but they're higher up and they're like closer to the audience, so like people can have a chance to see if they can't see what's going on like on stage or in front of them. But in this case, it was just like far in the background, like not really helpful at all.
Exactly, yeah. And I just felt like with the TV too, it was just like, where is the camera? Like, is the camera that we're watching on supposed to be the main camera that like goes into that? Because obviously, like, there's a camera that's filming like at the same angle that we're seeing it from because we can clearly see it from that angle.
Yeah, and like what they're showing in front of us is like the same angle that's like on the TV. So I guess where the camera? I guess we have that power. So another point is when Mal goes to the Isle of the Lost to like go to Hades and get the like stone thing, the power ember, whatever. He was like made a big emphasis on how it shouldn't get wet. It's like a powerful stone that has fire inside of it, and if you get it wet, it like puts out the flame and it's bad. Like don't get it wet.
If it gets wet, it's game over.
But then like the first thing she does is like accidentally drop it in the water, but you're supposed to believe that it didn't get wet because Uma saved it with her tentacle. But I feel like that's a problem because her tentacle is wet. Like, she lives in the ocean. It definitely got wet. And I can put that kind of aside because it doesn't really affect the main plot, I guess. But it's just really annoying when there's a whole point about it not getting wet and then it gets wet right after that. I feel like it was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
So with the fairy godmother, again, back on that, she got turned into a statue at some point. And Jane, Jay, and Gil like see her, and Jane is her daughter, and they're like, oh no, and Jane, hugs her and is like, Mom, and then they just kind of sit there, and nothing really happened.
They could have used True Love's Kiss because Disney's very clearly all about that, especially within like their movies, like with Frozen, and I know Once Upon a Time is not technically Disney, but like they use that same sort of element within there. They're very clear on like family and how that's so important. I just kind of felt like with this, she could have used True Love's Kiss on her mom because she loves her mom so much. I mean, at least I think she does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like she showed a strong bond with her mom, and especially, like, I think she was, like, crying over her in this scene. I feel like it would have been more powerful for her to be like, I love you, and then, like, kiss her on the forehead or the cheek or something, and then her mom would be like, I'm awake, what happened? How can I help?
Yeah, and then they all go and try to find Mal and Uma and Harry and all the other people.
So, good things we liked.
Yes.
It wasn't a bad movie. We liked the movie.
We liked the music definitely, except for like the first one and the placement for Evie's song.
The first one bothered me a lot because I feel like it's a fun song, but it sounds a lot like Cardi B. Like it just feels
Which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, it's just, it sounds like Bodak Yellow.
I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move.
Your life could change today, your life could change today. These streets named after us because we paved the way.
Like, it just is. I don't know, it just, when I hear it, I'm like, that's just Cardi B. Like, it doesn't sound very original. Like, it's fun, but it's like,
I mean, I don't really see it, but I can understand where that comes from. We like the fact that they took down the barriers and like merged the two lands together finally, because that's like a very big pivotal point in this. And then in the end they made that happen, so that was good.
Yeah, I really liked the Jay and Gil plot. That was really cute. I love Gil. I think he's very adorable, very cute, and I like the whole, like, he's a pirate, but he's a good boy who likes dogs, and I find that adorable. And, like, I liked it because in the last movie, he was flirting a lot with Harry Hook, who is problematic, like, on his own, but, in this movie, he kind of moved past Harry, he got past all of that drama, and he found Jay, and they became friends, and then they started flirting with each other, and then by the end of the movie, they were like, oh, let's travel the world, let's take a gap year, and I think that's really cute, because I'm all for traveling, and two little gays traveling together is a good time. I like it. I like that idea. Yeah, and also at the end of the movie when all the couples are dancing together, like the two of them are dancing in the background, like I feel like Kenny Ortega really wanted it because he didn't get to do it with Ryan, which is sad. He kind of did it with Ryan, but like with the Chad and Ryan switching clothes thing, but like this time he actually got to have a gay couple, which was nice because we've been needing one in a Disney Channel movie.
We definitely love Audrey's arc in this. We definitely love her building up to be this villain in a way because she's just gotten to a point where she just doesn't really, it's not, like I don't think she knows really who she is, and she's had to like put on this facade because she's wanting to be the queen of Oregon, and she was trying to like flirt with Ben, and honestly like when in the first movie when she was with Ben and then like he announced in front of like everybody that he loves Mal like at the pep rally, like I get it, I understand where she's coming from. I totally would have been upset and want revenge on whoever that was too that spelled him. I kind of understand where she's coming from, and we love the song.
Her song is very, very good.
Perfect.
And when I heard it, I was just like, I screamed. I got very excited.
I wish we had that on camera because we were like freaking out the entire time. It was
and
amazing.
then it was like #1 on trending too. Like she definitely deserved that. It was iconic. I liked how they did the Descendant of Evil. It's one of my favorite tropes ever. I think all of my favorite characters fall into that trope, and they did a very good job with it. Because some shows don't always do a good job with it.
Right.
And I feel like this one, I really liked it. Another point with Gil, my boy, I liked how he liked dogs. I don't like dogs, but I thought it was adorable that he did, and I thought it was interesting that he had this whole plot where the villain kids could never get dogs. Like they were like, oh, I was never able to have one because I was a VK.
Really? I never had a pet growing up, well, except for the elk kid in Dad's man cave, but that wasn't really...
Which is like similar to Zombies, the other Disney Channel movie, which is iconic and I love it, because the zombies couldn't have dogs in that movie. So I think Disney just has this plot of like, if people think of you as bad, you can't have a dog.
That's stupid.
And I feel like that's a really weird plot, but I feel like that's a thing with like Disney Channel. It's like bad equals no dog. And I find it funny.
Okay, I'm a cat person anyway.
But yeah, I like cats too. I don't know if they could have cats. I don't really think they touched on that. I think the main emphasis was just no dogs.
We should talk about Ben's like problem. Ben should not be king. For very specific reasons, and here's why. He just doesn't have like the qualifications that like you'd expect a king to have, you know what I'm saying? Like the sort of like posture and like the way you speak and everything like that. He's more of like a dude bro.
Yeah.
Like a high school dude bro. Like that's why we said at the beginning of this video, dude, I just got engaged. Like you want that as your future king of Oregon?
Yeah, and he doesn't really prove to have any political stances or know how to rule or anything. He doesn't really seem very qualified at all because it's not shown in classes that, you know, they learn about how to rule or how to be political figures. But even still, like, there's been like situations where they're like, oh, we have a problem, like at the beginning of the movie when they're like, we need to address like the VK problem and Hades breaking out, and the three royals, like Belle and the Beast and Ben, were all like, I don't know what to do. Anyway, who knows?
It's like, why are you the king and queen then if you don't know what to do? We should have gotten Sleeping Beauty's parents, or, well, actually not Chad's parents.
Not Chad.
No.
I feel like Chad is also Dubro level, and I feel like his parents also are just kind of like,
Yeah.
Which I do kind of find it funny because it's like the heroes who are kind of dumb.
Exactly.
And don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah. I feel like Audrey's parents could have been better rulers, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've never met Audrey's parents, so we don't know. We've only met her grandma, and she's kind of been a bitch to
Yeah, her grandma was very problematic, but I feel like she could have ruled. I
liked her in some cases, but in other cases I'm like...
She was definitely stronger than some of the other hero figures. She definitely could have had more power. Like, it wouldn't have been good power. It would have been bad power, but she at least had opinions on things.
Right, true. Yeah, Ben's just kind of...
Yeah, and then with the whole well, what do we do about the villain kid situation? What do you do about, like, the other land over there? Mal is like, no, let's just close it forever. And then they're like, okay, sure, fine.
Yep.
Let's stick with that, even though it's a very, very bad idea. The kids who are over here can't see their parents anymore, and no other kid's gonna come to the school, and
yeah,
you know, guess we don't have inclusive things anymore, but...
Yeah, that's obviously not the answer, especially, like, within today's political, like, standpoint. They're definitely gearing a lot of what's in this movie towards what's going on now, and I really appreciate that, because, like, you can't just say, we're gonna build a wall and then be done with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not gonna solve a problem within our world in general.
Yeah, also the proposal was really awkward between him and Mal. It wasn't timed very well. It was just kind of like, welcome back to school, I love you, and let's get married.
Yeah.
Plus, they're still, like, teenagers. I don't really know how old they're supposed to be.
I mean, they're probably in, like, their early 20s, but still, like, you can tell that, like, they got a lot of things to work out within their own lives. Like, it's like...
And they hadn't been dating for that long either, and... I don't know, in the last movie, they seemed to not really like each other that much, with him being uncomfortable with her having magic, and she was like, I don't know if I want to rule. And I guess they might have fixed that at some point, but it still just feels kind of forced and not timed super well. Mal looked really uncomfortable during the scene. Yeah, there was a weird song, too, which was just kind of like a casual song, and then he was like, and let's get married, and she was like, okay.
I never thought that it could happen to a guy like me, but now look at what you've done, you got me down on my knees.
Yeah, it was just awkwardly placed in there, and we just were like, no.
Yeah.
Audrey is amazing.
My love.
We love her so much. We're Audrey stans.
Yes.
I don't care if she's supposed to be the villain of the movie, like, she's the best. Uma is also the best.
I
like,
love Uma.
Those are my two favorites.
Uma's redemption arc was really good in this movie.
Fantastic job. I feel like her redemption arc was, like, better than any other,
honestly,
like, character development in this movie especially. Like, all the other ones were just kind of like, okay, whatever. But I feel like the conflict between Mal and Uma was very significant, and how they were developing as people, and like whether or not they were on the same side or not. Evie was very adamant about getting them together and being like, listen guys, we're gonna make this work, we're gonna work things out, we're gonna be a team. We are on the same side in this situation. We have to be. It's essential.
I liked how Evie was kind of the leader in that, and I did feel bad for her in that one scene when she was like, let's all get together, anyone want gum? Like, it was very much like, you know, like that kid who's like, hey, I have gum so I can make friends, and it's really cute, and I love that, and no one took her gum, and it made me very sad, because
I'll take your gum.
I would take her gum. I love her.
Who wants gum?
Let's go.
No?
I also liked Mal and Uma's dynamic. Like, they had, like, fun little arguments, but they, like, got together in the end and they worked together. And during the final battle, like, Uma was like, I'm gonna help you even though I disagree. Like, it was really good. It was very, very well done.
Perfect job. Chad's character could have definitely been used a lot more in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like when he teamed up with Audrey, I was like, ooh, there's gonna be something going down, Chad's gonna mess something up. Something's gonna happen where he's either gonna, like, be on her side and help her, like, work through something, some evil plan or something like that, but, like, he was just kind of, like, shoved in the corner and like...
literally.
Literally... shoved into a closet and then locked the door on her, and then like the whole crew finds him in the closet, and then he's like, freedom!
Yeah, he just like yeets on out of there.
And then I'm just like, that's it? That's all your character has?
Yeah, he really wanted to join Audrey too, like in the birthday party scene, which was very well done, by the way. I liked how she sang happy birthday, and the magical like sleeping curse thing looked really cool. But he was like, I want to help you, and she was like, okay. And then they didn't like, he didn't help her at all. He didn't really do anything whatsoever. Which
he was just there.
Can do things on her own, but also like if you have someone who's willing to help, you can use them.
Right. But then again, she also really didn't do that much either. When it came to like, she would just do some magic apparently, and then like look at her scepter, which honestly, how do you go from like really like not knowing how to use magic at all, to then automatically like knowing how to use magic and then trying to destroy the world. Like
I'm assuming it comes with the scepter. Like maybe when she like had the energy and she picked up the scepter, like it flowed through her. But I still feel like there would be some bumps. Like it wouldn't be as flawless.
It wasn't.
But maybe that's why she stayed in the cabin the whole movie and didn't really go anywhere. Maybe she just didn't want anyone to find out that she wasn't perfect at it.
Right, exactly.
Which I appreciate. I would do that too. Yeah, she also spent a lot of the movie, as you said, just kind of looking into the scepter and screaming at it.
And like, no!
Like,
yes!
I'm mad.
Okay, so Hades and Mal's relationship. We don't like it. We don't like it at all. First of all, lots of people have parents that have separated before, and like a lot of people have parents that aren't even involved in their lives anymore. But I feel like with this dynamic, it's very clear that Hades doesn't want to be a part of Mal's life at all.
Yeah, he's very independent, on his own, has his own thing going on, living in his own cave or whatever. And in the song between the two of them, which is a bop by the way, he kind of makes it clear that he doesn't care about her, doesn't care about her family, doesn't care about her friends. It's just kind of like, I'm on my own, I left you guys for a reason, I don't want a part of your life.
Right.
And Mal's like, yeah, I don't really like you either, but I need your help. And he's like, well, I'm not going to help you, but here's this ember. It's not going to work, but whatever. And
thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and then he just kind of disappears. He seems to be kind of a threat, but then once he's trapped like on the island, he's whatever. And then after the final battle, the big battle, and Audrey gets knocked out and is asleep, they're like, oh no, we need like to bring her back to life. And then Mal is all, oh, I know my dad has magic, that can do this. He's definitely going to be willing to help me, even though he hates my guts. And then Hades just shows up and is like, I'm forced to be here, but sure, I'll help. And then right after that scene, it's like they try to make it kind of look like that's a redemption arc for Hades and try to make it be like, oh, he really is a good guy, and he really does love Mel because he saved her friend who was her enemy for the whole movie, but whatever. And then Mal is like, I love you, Dad, and he's like, yep, pal. Yeah. It's really weird. I don't really know what they were going for with that. Like, if they were trying to redeem him, or if it was like...
Yeah, because here's the thing, he wasn't the main villain in the story, and yet they made him seem like he was the main villain, and yet he really didn't have that much going for him in the movie. Like, we had the Ember, sure, whatever, but, like, he just didn't feel like a pivotal character moving the story along, Like,
he was like a sideline dude who had some important parts, but,
Right. Just not the best character there.
Yeah.
And then they tried to redeem him and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of spin-off ideas for this.
So one thing that I liked was the new villain kids. Like, what was her name? Drizzy or Dizzy or something? Dizzy and Celia and the Smee twins. Even though they didn't really have a lot of lines, I feel like they were really cute and they're really good. I like them. So yeah, I feel like they could have done more with them, but they didn't, which makes me think that maybe we could get a spin-off, and it would just be them. And, like, the main villain kids that were in this movie, like, they're off doing their own thing, exploring the world, or, like, marriage, or whatever. Yeah, and they don't have to be involved. But, like, we could have a spin-off with those kids, and I feel like it'd be really good. They could introduce some new hero kids.
Ones that actually have potential.
Right, ones that have a little bit more development. Combine... have them interact more, not just to be so focused on the villain kids, but maybe have it be like, this villain kid is friends with Eilonweed's daughter from Black Culture, and I don't know, I can't think of a hero right now. But, like, bring back some of the not super popular heroes, have, like, Kita's daughter. It also kind of had the similar vibe with High School Musical 3, which in that era, they were actually planning on having a spin-off show, so they introduced, like, the other Sharpay, who was British, I don't know her name, but she was there. Rocket Boy or Rocket Man, I think, who was like the new Troy, and I don't know, there were other ones, other like mini versions of the existing characters, which after the existing characters graduated, these people could be like the new characters, so that they could continue with the series. And this one kind of had a similar vibe when they introduced like the new villain kids who could replace, like Evie and Mal, and maybe in the spin-off they're going to have more, but I don't really know if they're planning on doing that. Also, like, the merchandise could be really cute. Like, it could be, like, Drizzy's, like, hair design studio, and you could have, like, you know those dolls that are just, like, the heads with, like, the long hair?
Right.
It could be, like, those of other characters. And you could be, like, pretending to be, like, Drizzy or whatever, doing the, like, hair. Like, that would be
do
really
it,
cute.
like, let us know.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I would buy it.
We got it. We got it. We'll do a whole toy review and everything.
Also, on this movie, the intro with Celia was kind of weird because it kind of tried to make her cold and kind of mean. You were like, oh, maybe she's gonna be like a big bad or evil. But then in the next scene, she's just like eating cake with Dizzy, and then she goes back to the island and she's like ready to help.
Yeah.
And then she's just really sweet and nice. And it's kind of weird how they kind of establish her as like, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just gonna throw my backpack in the limo and be mad.
Okay. Let's go and do this.
Yeah.
And then she's like really sweet in the next scene.
And then in the trailer, they made it seem like she was gonna be one of the main villains.
Yeah.
And one of the main problems of it. But she doesn't. She's like she's there and she just wants to, like, be accepted as one of her
She just wants to be
own.
accepted. She wants to have fun there, which is legit. Another thing I wish that they kind of did was incorporate more of the Wicked World characters. Like CJ should have been in this. I love her.
CJ's character was good. I really liked that.
She was really good in that show. Yeah, they could have had her and Harry have like a thing because Harry Hook and CJ Hook, they're like siblings. But I don't know if it's in the same canon anymore. It's all kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that was a lot of our thoughts on the movie. Let us know what you feel about it down in the comments below if you found anything interesting of what we said.
Yeah.
And just let us know. And we hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.